actually everything has been handed to us from generation to generation by word of mouth. So we thought, why not use the audio medium to see whether we can reduce the screen time so that you don't have to see, but you just listen and you can study or revise. They can go in the garden, they can sit, they can listen to these audio revisions. Within 15-20 minutes, their entire revision is done. We have made it so child friendly that they can make a playlist of their own. They can choose one lesson of history, one of geography, one of science. Today's playlist means today's homework that is finished in 15-20 minutes. We have given the analytics of this for the parents or the teachers to follow so that they know that child has done the homework or read the, or done the listening of this particular chapter which was given for homework. You imagine if a child is taught in the sound of Mickey Mouse, in the voice of Mickey Mouse, that age group. Whereas an adult age group, if he is taught in the voice of any fan star of his, he's a star follower of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan or anyone else, how it will connect? It will become more memorable. We have also created content which can reach the blind. Our journey is a very personal journey. Actually, this journey as an association started bang in the middle of the pandemic, when everyone was having so much of hardships and stress, and the educational side, it was being handled marvelously because of technology by the teachers on one side, by the schools, by the parents and the students. So technology was aiding to keep the school ongoing on an online basis. But at the same time, what was happening, sir, was too much of technology or too much of screen time was also proving a little bit distressful for the students, especially in terms of their eyesight, in terms of vision getting deteriorated. There were also instances where there were cases of ADHD getting more, so attention deficiency was there, and their habit of writing was going out of habit. So all this was contributing to very ill side effects of excess screen time. Yes, the schooling was very necessary because we didn't know at that time, this was in April 2021, we didn't know at what time the online will stop and the offline will start for the schooling. But at the same time, there were tuition classes which were going on. There were apps which was showing videos of studies which were also simultaneously going on. This was in addition to the schooling which was compulsory. So that was contributing to what is the excess screen time. And I was very worried. Rajesh also had the same problem. We both have my daughter and his son. They're both studying in schools. And that was the time when they faced all these issues. My daughter got specs. His son was also facing very much similar issues. So we thought together as, would there be something that can be done to at least reduce, if not completely, do away with the screen time which is so harmful for the students at this point of time. So sir, we thought about our great culture, in our great culture, our Vedas, Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, the Bhagavad Gita, actually everything has been handed to us from generation to generation by word of mouth. So we thought, why not use the audio medium to see whether we can reduce the screen time so that you don't have to see, but you just listen and you can study or revise. So that was our starting point of addressing a particular problem that we saw in our own environment.
So essentially what we thought is that, once we identified that there would be a potential medium like audio medium to be able to help on this particular aspect, we started doing a little bit of research. So what we did is we did a few recordings. We gave it to a few children, including my son, including Tushar's daughter, and they seemed to like it. They felt, oh, this is very nice, this is very fast, if we are able to very quickly revise in just a few minutes the entire thing rather than getting stressed trying to revise the entire chapter, uh, this looked like a very good idea and this thing. So then we started doing some more research. We said, is there a scientific basis for this? And when we were researching, we saw that there is something called as echoic memory, which has a scientific base, which basically talks about how the human body processes sound compared to how it processes audio or visuals,
Visuals.
right? And considering that, we saw that the audio is considered by the human body as something which is as instantaneous and tends to retain it for a longer amount of time. So this, okay, so we said, okay, one is that we are talking about an audio medium with which children are very much familiar with. They have been using this podcast, different kind of musics where they create playlists and everything. So one is familiarity. Second thing is it addresses the problem. And third thing, there is a scientific basis for this. So just to put it in another perspective, just like Tushar was saying, if I ask somebody to say, okay, can you recite a nursery rhyme? Like let's say Baba Black Sheep. Even after 25 years, we can still remember that. I mean, 25 years I'm saying is because let's say you're talking about the age of our children. But we are of course much older than that. But having said that, it essentially showed the power of the audio medium to be able to address this particular issue, and that is where we started experimenting. We built a small proof of concept, tested it out, it worked very well, and after that we essentially launched the app.
Basically, we are both graduates. I have done my pharma, and after that, I've done my MBA in marketing. And I'm a management consultant by profession. Marketing is my specialty. So in that journey, I've launched quite a few well-known brands which we have grown upon, which we have seen as our day-to-day consumption also, and that always makes me curious to find solutions for certain issues which we keep on facing from time to time. And this was such a pressing issue, and it involves our children, not just our own children, but I'm talking about this generation, because this generation technology at a breakneck speed. So technology has to be part of their learning and growing process. Definitely, we cannot take technology out of anyone's life, but the technology has used that it does not have devastating effect on you. So that was the single most point. And also, of course, because of technology, we can reach larger number of audience to solve the same issue at a much reasonable and very affordable price. So that is what our main aim is, that people or children who are facing such issues, and because of that single issue there happen to be multiple issues, such as I already mentioned, there is an issue called attention deficiency syndrome.
It is.
So not more than 10 minutes a particular child can hold attention to a particular topic or subject. So that is fast growing in today's generation. Secondly, there is a writing habit which has got lost because of the pandemic. Thirdly, there is a debate, very hot debate going on in the education ministry, which says that homework which is being given to the children is contributing to their stress factor. Why? Because A, they have to get the same books which have got the homework back home, and that does not reduce the burden of their school bags. They have to carry the same books, other books also, so their bag is always full. So they have backache, neck ache, and all that problems are there physically. And mentally, they are supposed to be playing, right? When they have finished the school, they come back and they relax and they go out and they play. This is what is expected of children. But what is being found out now is that children, when they come home, they attend a tuition class and then they come back again stressed, and then they have to do the school homework, then they have to do the class homework, and they barely get any time to, eat, leave alone play. So this adds to their stress. This stress leads them to go to take, even psychological counseling. Currently, the cases have increased a lot. So parents are facing this pressure, students are facing this pressure, and the education ministry has taken cognizance of it and says this needs to be removed or reduced. Now, when I have been speaking with a lot of principals of big schools, what has come across is that the teachers as well as the principals, that is the educationists, also agree that yes, homework is a stressful factor to the student, but what to do? They need to revise, right? So how can we do something away and not have something which is required for revising? That was what the crux of homework was. So when we spoke, it came out that GuruPaath, which we have launched, it's a pure revision app. It does not profess to teach. So teaching we are keeping for the school. The school does a wonderful job of teaching the concepts, but once you come home, you have to revise. And that is why homework is there for. So if you are thinking of removing the homework, we advised that let us reduce the homework. Even if you reduce it to 60%, 70%, then whatever needs to be written by hand, let's say maths solving or diagrams, only that can be kept as part of a little homework. Other things can be done through our app, which is GuruPaath. They can go in the garden, they can sit, they can listen to these audio revisions. Within 15-20 minutes, their entire revision is done. We have made it so child friendly that they can make a playlist of their own. They can choose one lesson of history, one of geography, one of science. Today's playlist means today's homework that is finished in 15-20 minutes. They can do it offline also. We have given the choice of downloading the chapters inside the app itself. So not just home, they can sit in the garden, they can do a jogging, cycling, whatever, anything which does not require brain activity. Along with that, they can listen to this and they will be able to revise and finish this off. We have given the analytics of this for the parents or the teachers to follow so that they know that child has done the homework or read the or done the listening of this particular chapter which was given for homework. So that also completes the loop. In this case, we are now tying up with various schools to do this experiment and show on a larger audience that this is going to reduce the stress levels of the children, at the same time help them to do a little better when they have the exams and tests. So this is the offshoot of the idea of what we had thought was only reducing screen time, but this is another advantage which has come across.
Yeah, and essentially my background is technology. So I'm a, basically I've done my BE in computer engineering and I've done my MBA from Bombay University with my interest schooling happening in Mumbai. So after which I came to this Southeast Asia region and I've been working in Singapore and Jakarta on multi. So even I have been like a technology consultant helping multiple companies to try to solve different problems. And during the pandemic, when we came across this particular problem, it was very interesting to see, what could be the creative solutions that we can come up with. So technology nowadays is growing so much, and everything and everywhere. The use of technology is just increasing like crazy. So whether we want to buy something or whether we want to do something, we want to book a cab, technology is basically helping to solve multiple issues in whether it is for companies or whether it is for people or for anybody else. Nowadays we cannot think of ordering food without having technology at hand. Almost that is what happened during the pandemic. The adoption of technology has increased like crazy, and we are going to see this go much further from here. And the same thing is part of our journey as well. While we have launched GuruPaath with these features so that we are going to make it easy for the students to be able to revise and to be able to get access to the time which they have lost out. The most important thing is the time they had to do, like when we were small, we had a lot of time to do our hobbies, collect stamps, do some gardening, try out some cooking or something of that sort. But nowadays it is becoming very, very difficult with this. So technology has its negative effects as well as positive effects. So what we said, of course, during the COVID time, because of specific reasons, technology was required to be utilized in that specific way. But let us now start looking at technology in a very positive way, which can help them to reduce their mental stress, which can help them to reduce the screen time, which can help to bring out we actually have them to save time. Technology is supposed to save time for us, and that is exactly what we thought. Of course, there are a lot of multiple things happening in the technology area, like artificial intelligence is coming, machine learning is doing. That's exactly in the field in which I am in right now, and you will definitely see a lot of interesting stuff which will come up in future, including personalization, which
Yeah.
will help students even much more further as we go down the line.
Different curriculums pose different challenges. But what we have seen, and which now the education policy, that is the new education policy, is also aiming to bring all the curriculums together as a common one. And there will also be, like in certain best practices, there are questions which are based on theory, and there are questions which are based on real knowledge and practical. So this is where the comprehension comes into picture. So in audio, what this is just the journey which we have begun. Our journey does not end here. There are leaps and bounds of other angles which we are going to add onto this, layer by layer, layer by layer. So right now, like Doctor, you have said, we are working on more aspects, but right now, let me tell you, we are also working on giving this knowledge in different languages, because
Okay.
audio is so amenable to easy access for various languages. Let me tell you, you must be knowing, of course, that in India, English speaking students contribute to only 25% of the students. 47% of the students are from Hindi medium. Hindi medium is much bigger than the English medium, and we sitting in cities think that English is everything. No, we have got regional languages of 8%, 9% is Gujarati, Bengali, Marathi, Tamil. There are so many. So our next job, which we have already started, is taking all these languages and making regional courses available, regional media available for that. So this is one thing. Secondly, like you rightly said, this does not stop at studies for just the education purposes. Studies is one thing for education, but we believe that we are into a lifelong learning.
Yes.
Yourself, me, Rajesh, we are all lifelong learners, sir. So every day, something or the other, we are learning, and is such a fantastic versatile medium this audio thing is to reach out. We can see from the podcast, we can see from the popularity of audiobooks. We will be adding certain tips and tricks, certain ways in which you can do things differently, short trivia. Then we will be adding more non-study material, not just for students. We will be graduating to more graduations, then post graduations. All this journey is already there in our vision. So we have just begun this, and we are taking baby steps towards it. But the medium is so fantastic and wonderful that we are able to extend it across to just about anything. We have been associated with very good people, and who have taken so much great interest in this, that they have said, why don't you start music, local music, vocal music, traditional music, all that can be learned from this medium. And the way we have done it, the way we have made this app, it is so easy to use, it is so user friendly, that web designing, anything that we see under the sun, we will be able to add to this. And this is what our challenge is. This is where our progress will lie, and that is where Rajesh is going to come in with his technology and give us more inputs from artificial intelligence, machine learning, and many other things.
So we are essentially building on whatever we have. And just like Tushar rightly pointed out, we have started off with the prime curriculum at this moment of time. But as we have spoken to multiple people, we have seen an opportunity wherein we can add very interesting material. See, we started off by saying that we wanted to save the time for the student to be able so that he can now start spending more time towards the activities the person likes, or try to explore more other areas. And that is exactly what is going to happen over here. And that's where, we talked about music, we talked about immense amount of possibilities. We cannot just, there are so many interesting conversations which are going on. And then we keep on looking at, how through technology we can add on all these content into the overall thing. So we are pretty careful in terms of how we curate content. We are pretty careful in terms of how we select the teachers. We are pretty careful in terms of how the audio is recorded. We are also, one of the things we have added of is meditational music. So we saw that there is a lot of increased attention. So we are giving thought to a lot of small things when we have created this uh, particular offering for the students. In fact, we are looking at creative people who are able to provide creative content.
Correct.
And the way we have designed our medium, we would like to be very socially inclusive. So there is a great opportunity for us to bring on people who are from the marginalized segment, in fact, you know, and they can very easily participate together with us to be able to create a beautiful platform. India is such a great country, and there are so many creative people with so many creative talents. I think once we can keep on getting them on board and make it like an ecosystem, that is exactly, so you have correctly pointed out, this is exactly what we want to do. We want to go democratize education and ensure that even the socially marginalized or in economically marginalized anybody, we can bring on board to create a great ecosystem.
Education needs to be enjoyed. Once you start enjoying doing something which you have to do, it becomes second nature. So
Yeah.
I have read the many books about Disney. Disney, I'm a very big fan of Disney. The way it has been built, Mr. Walt Disney was thrown out of the office, saying first when he started working, "Hey, you have got no future, you are not creative," is what people had said. And to a person who is the most creative in centuries together. So I have read many books of his, and I'm such a great admirer. The way he has made sound as a medium to connect to the children, okay, through Mickey Mouse and other characters of his. Tomorrow, I have been requested by even parents from grade 2, grade 1, grade 3 students' parents. They have asked, when are you going to start GuruPaath for our grades, first, second, third? I said, wait, we still have a long way to go in the adult section also. But tomorrow, imagine for a first standard, second standard person, I'm just talking out of the box. But when we have, like Rajesh said, we are bootstrapped now, we are self-funded. But let's say we have got some funding in the future, and we have no dearth of choosing whom we whom we can hire for recording. Then we can hire someone like Mr. Chetan Shashital, who has got 200 voices inside his throat. So you imagine if a child is taught in the sound of Mickey Mouse, in the voice of Mickey Mouse, that age group. Whereas an adult age group, if he is taught in the voice of any fan star of his, he's a star follower of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan or anyone else, how it will connect? It will become more memorable, of course. So this is what we have the freedom to do when we have got more followings, more inputs, and more funding, of course. But it's an endless game where we can keep on innovating endlessly. सीबीएसई और आईसीएसई के चौथी से लेके 10वीं तक का करिकुलम अपलोड किया है। हमने एक वैसे आप जैसे कह रहे थे, इट शुड रीच अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स. We have also created content which can reach the blind.
Hmm.
So we have made some content which we are giving to a blind school also, which is in the regional language. So that is one. And I forgot to mention, sir, that our vision is such that education should reach the farthest corners of our villages with technology. और ये इतनी सिंपल टेक्नोलॉजी है, इसे 5G की जरूरत नहीं है ये ऑडियो को. तो ये हम ट्राइबल्स तक भी लेके जा सकते हैं. इसकी वजह से हमने इसका प्राइसिंग भी इतना वेरी 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 अफोर्डेबल किया है कि एक चैप्टर भी ले सकते हैं, या एक सब्सक्रिप्शन जो है वो नॉर्मल प्राइसिंग से लेस देन 1/10 ऑफ द कॉस्ट में रखा है हमने. और हमने ऐसे भी उसमें प्रयोजन करके रखा है कि अगर हमें विलेजेस के फादर्स कॉर्नर से कुछ आया, हमें पता चला स्टूडेंट है वहां पे, सो वी कैन गिव द सेम you know app all the content even at 1 rupee to that particular needful child, needing child, girl child. We have got that vision कि जिनको पढ़ना है वो 1 रुपया देके भी पढ़े, हम उनके साथ है.
हम बूटस्ट्रैप होने की वजह से वी आर ऑल्सो, मतलब हम ढूंढ रहे हैं कि अगर कोई पार्टनर्स भी हमारे साथ में हो जाए, लाइक एनजीओज है या लार्ज कॉरपोरेट्स है जिनका विजन है, क्योंकि हम जितना अंदर जाएंगे, जितना और बढ़ाएंगे हमारा कंटेंट, तो उतने हिसाब से टेक्नोलॉजी में थोड़ा इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ेगा. वील हैव टू कीप ऑन एडिंग न्यू फीचर्स एंड अदर थिंग. तो ये सब करने के लिए भी थोड़ा, मतलब इफ वी आर एबल टू गेट पार्टनर्स तो और भी अच्छा हो सकता है. तो उसमें जैसे अभी हम लोग ने ब्लाइंड स्कूल के लिए तो अभी दे दिया, मतलब वी हैव क्रिएटेड वन, बट वी ऑल्सो हैव अ लिमिट इन टर्म्स ऑफ हाउ मच वी कैन डू. सो when more partners come in, we can expand. There is sky is the limit in terms of how much we can expand even for these social activities.